blocks. In set number 2, it was UST naman who was very aggressive there who scored 4 points off the block. And a lot of difference it makes kasi nakakasira din ng momentum ng spiker pagka magandang blocking ng kalaban.
Let's see. Adjustments made here, especially for UST as they have their backs against the wall. Must win set, otherwise they will say goodbye to 2014 with a loss. But what a horrific serve from Emnas. Bahagya na umabot sa net yun.
Oo. Mag-tennis na din yata yung serve na yun eh.
Exactly. Pasok yung mag-tennis.
Another thing we have to point out also in set number 3 at UST not able to control the errors also. So that contributed to the points of the Lady Falcons, considering it was a very tight set number 3.
That's right.
Galanza able to put that in.
Off the block.
And that ought to help her confidence because especially in set number 2, halos wala yatang nailusot na palo si Galanza, no? It's either blocked or outside.
That's right. You know, and like we mentioned, she has been very quiet the entire game.
Yung set number 3, pangilan-ngilan, pero maganda yun. Panimula ng set number 4, pasok agad. Through the block, yung palo ni Galanza. Let's go to Gianna Lianes.
Coach Aaron welcomes inputs during timeout, so when Lalan pointed out a positioning error that gave him struggle to cover, Coach Aaron repositioned them and the team began to catch up. The smiles and energy of the girls returned after obtaining the lead last time. Even Coach Aaron, who told them, "Sabi ko sa inyo, pag ilimit ang galaw, nakakakuha tayo." Team Captain Faye made sure to high-five each of her teammates, even the ones at the warm-up box for keeping up the cheering. With this set, the girls are determined to end the game, having a team prayer before entering the court, and Coach Sherwin telling them na babawiin nila ang puntos nila. Eric and Ivy?
Thank you, Gianna. Outside si Galanza doon.
So still not working, not going her way, but then for Galanza.
EJ Laure to serve.
Laure, short. On the serve.
Laure, she has been struggling at the service line. She's committed several service errors already.
Three all, set number 4.
Serves for Adamson.
Solid serve from Galanza.
Service 8.
Serve.
Adamson back on top by 1. Early here in set number 4.
Galanza to serve.
No team has really gotten, control of or impose their will on the other, no? It's more of a parang a game of a match of swinging momentum lang.
That's right. You have it UST, and then after a while it goes to Adamson, and then after a while it goes back to UST.
And all within a set. Mabago, you can never tell in a set kung sino talaga may control.
Exactly.
Except for set number 1, it was all Adamson.
It was all Adamson, that's right.
Better from then on, I mean, you could never really tell. Very interesting sort of a way this match is developing. Free ball. Paat.
Oh, that's outside.
She's bringing out herself today. If there's one player that really needs to change, her approach right now, it's Mylene Paat. She's been checked, and she's been checked many times, and because of that, she's forcing the issue, committing some errors.
That's right. I guess probably more on the fact na si Rondina pa yung nakablock sa kanya.
No? Yeah. That would really cause some problems for you mentally if that happens.
2-8 violation, Adamson.
Error once again in the part of Adamson. We're now tied at 5 apiece.
Claudia Cortez continues to serve for the Lady Tigresses.
Villanueva. But great dig by Laure. Rondina. Paat. That's much better.
Through the block.
Off the block.
(6-5) Adamson. Set 4.
Mylene Paat to serve for Adamson.
Cortez. Over-received again. One main problem ng Adamson in this game. That is wide from Villanueva.
Too much angle from Amanda Villanueva.
And see, this is what we've been talking about. A 2-point lead, nawala, bunch of errors, veterans, Pam Lastimosa, Mela Tunay. They've been on the bench longer than they've actually played in this match. Started out in the first set,
They're
pero
right.
halos wala nung set 2. Pam came in late in set 3. Tapos ngayon, they're not even in the set.
But you know, the rookies have been doing a good job as well. You know, they were able to get a set for UST.
Yeah, yung set 2, sila nagpanalo nun.
That's right.
Faye Guevara serving.
Faye Guevara for the serve.
Short serve. De Leon. Paat, underhand set. Villanueva. Cortez. Emnas to Villanueva.
That did not go over.
Now I'm wondering, Emnas has become predictable with the offense ng Adamson. Always sending it to Amanda Villanueva. She's got Erica Alguino in front.
And I think that is what Coach Sherwin is trying to, you know, signal it from outside. Again, he has reminded the variation.
Yeah.
And both of these coach basically has pointed that out, yung predictability ng kanilang mga atake.
Although that time, nakalusot yung palo ni Villanueva. Adamson is on top by 1-8-7, set number 4. She went down the line this time. Binabantayan kasi sa kanya yung cross-court.
Cross-court. Good adjustment from Amanda Villanueva at that time. And she was actually having difficulty already because nabablock yung kanyang palo. So that was a good decision for her to change directions.
But a small lead para sa Adamson here. 8-7 in set number 4. 2 sets to 1 in favor of Adamson.
Oh, another position error here for the Lady Falcon. So yun yung mga errors talaga na nakaka-frustrate eh. So it's a free point here for UST.
Let's check in again with Cristel Batchelor.
Coach Oji believes that the predictability of the Tigresses made them lose a third set. It also did not help that after blocking, their coverage was weak. Rhea Menez has also called out how their energy is decreasing and asked her teammates to bring back their old groove. Meanwhile, we still haven't seen Carmela Tunay back in the ball game, but in the huddle, she eagerly expressed, "Coach, naka-ready ako." Now, in the words of assistant coach Yanni Fernandez, for this set, dapat maging madamo tayo sa puntos na ibibigay natin sa Adamson. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you, Cristel. What happened there? Never seen something like that.
That's right. So I'm not sure if there's any confusion anywhere because she was the only one in that area. So wala namang kaagaw doon sa bola.
Hindi na lang tumalbog, ano? Galanza block, but off the blockers. Puntos para sa Adamson. So 2 points yung tinapon ng Adamson doon. One from the rotation error, and then yung setting error
That's
ni
right, ni Emnas.
Emnas, ano? Otherwise, it would have been up by 2, but we're tied at 9. Fourth set. De Leon. Still diggable. And we'll go back. Galanza dumps it. Laure pushes, blocked by Paat.
Good block from Paat.
And Laure, after this shot, looked at Coach Oji Mamo, and Oji saying, "Palo, sana pinalo mo." Adamson back up by 1, 10-9.
Combination play.
Good take by Villanueva. Galanza. Laure. Emnas. Ooh, that's wide. Net violation
Net
pa.
violation error pa.
10 all is the
That was
score.
very difficult shot for Alguino. She was already coming from the left side, and her momentum was carrying her right, she should have at least tried to twist her body and hit back to her right side, or
Although
back
the
to her left
blocker
side.
naman is there.
That's true.
So a little bit, probably that play could have been, you know, they could have executed another play instead of that one.
Oh, kasi iba na yung posisyon ni Alguina, mahirap. Paat. Ooh, that's long.
Pat had something else in mind.
Ito yung sinasabi natin, Ivy, ano? You can't really tell. May 2-point lead ni Adamson ngayon, lamang na UST. It's just, nobody's in control of this set.
And what's actually giving the lead to the opponent are the errors. UST, it's the same. You know, they commit an error, they give the lead to Adamson. Now, Adamson commits 2 errors, and they give the lead back to UST.
Yeah. No team is really taking charge of this competition right now. Cortez. Dump. Binuhay pa ni Alquino. Galanza pushes. Laure. Outside.
No touch from the blockers.
Yeah, the blockers were late actually, which was favorable to them. Dahil kung umabot sila doon, siguradong check ball yun.
That's right.
Sometimes it's better to be late.
But not all the time.
Not all the time. You love it all.
That was a good pass.
Nice combination. And Laure able to get the point.
Actually calling in for a crossing violation against UST. Take a look. The referees did not favor the call. So point goes to UST. EJ Laure at the service line.
UST leading by 1, 12-11. Set number 4. Galanza blocked. Oh. Lucky break for Adamson there because Guevara overset it or over-received it on the first touch.
Net violation from Rondina.
12 all.
To serve.
Oh. Miss set para kay Paat. It's basically a free ball. UST Rondina. Paat. Yun, mas mataas pero na-block naman. Sobrang taas naman. Sabi ni Rondina, I saw her mouth the words. Because yung unang set para kay Rondina, mababa.
That's right.
Sumigaw si Coach Oji Mamon.
Baba.
Lakas ng sigaw ni Coach Oji eh. Doon tinaasan. Sabi naman ni Cherry Rondina katapos, masyadong mataas. Sometimes you can't get what you want.
That's right. You
You
really
have to
just
make
have
do.
to adjust.
Yeah. Twice Guevara, but on the second one she scores 14-12. I mean, you never really get the exact height of what you want, diba? I mean, you have to really adjust as a hitter, right?
That's right. You know, and it's actually easier for your setter to give you the kind of set that you want if you have a good first ball. But if you don't have a good first ball, you know, the likelihood na maihatid sa'yo ng setter mo na perfectly how you want it, of course, is smaller.
And it rarely happens in a competition because how often do you get free balls, diba? Rondina with a major error that time, pero she had to make do. Alangan na nga rin yung pass sa kanya ng bola. 15-12. Timeout ng UST. Will listen in.
Masyado na naman kayo nag-play si Alex, yung set mo. Ha? Iba, there's a difference between mababa at mabilis. Ha? Binababa mo lang yung flight ng bola, okay? Bakit? Buka-buka na lang ba? Chloe. Papuntahin mo sa gitna. Papuntahin mo sa gitna.
And again, Yung predictability, yung binabanggit na naman ni Coach Oji Mamon, ano? Puro open na lang ba tayo? Wala ba tayong middle hitter?
That's right. And basically, they have 3 attackers at the front line. So yung pinopoint out ni Coach Oji to maximize the 3 attackers that you have because the blockers of Adamson are basically just waiting na lang dun sa open.
In a game like this, a lead of 3 points is a luxury
Oh, yes.
because of the way the game is being played by both teams. And yun na nga. Malaki na yun kasi babalik na naman yung punto sa UST with a block by Meneses. So lead down to 2. Sara Verutiao checking in. And also Mela Tunay checking in. Cortez and Cabanos will check out.
Of course, this strategy of Coach Oji is to maintain the 3 attackers at the front line.
Now Tunay saw action last time in the first set. Matagal-tagal lang hindi naglaro to. Malamig na nga to si Mela Tunay. Poor reception from Laure.
Second technical timeout.
16-13 Adamson lead here, set number 4. Well, that's a reception error on the part of UST. And again, back to a luxurious 3-point lead, Ivy.
And of course, the Lady Falcons, kailangan hindi sila maging kampante at this point because we've seen what can happen, what UST can do once they get back themselves in the game.
And with the way they're playing, they can't afford to
Oh,
be
yes.
complacent. They're not even playing very well. Tunay. Ayun.
Excellent hit from
Wow,
Carmela
I'm impressed, huh? Tunay, all she did was jog on the side, stationary jogging. And it doesn't seem like nanlamig siya at all. I mean, she didn't even finish the first set.
Yes.
Kalahati lang yung laro niya doon.
Carmela Tunay probably this, being given an opportunity would make the most out of it.
Yep. Oh, service rotation
Rotational fault.
or rotation
Wrong
error.
serve.
Kahit si
UST.
Coach Mamon, siya na nagsabi. Yung nagsiserve dapat si, mali.
Wrong server for UST. Sometimes, the substitution can confuse the rotation inside. So, kailangan talaga there's always presence of mind do sa mga players na pumapasok to make sure that you're in the right position.
I think, dapat, sino ba? Dapat yata si Mela Tunay magsiserve. Or was it?
Well, I think it's supposed to be Meneses already who's going to serve.
Serve. Okay. There you go. So, dapat lalabas si Dusaran. So, no more na. Hindi na ibabalik si Meneses. It will just remain an error after Rondina serve. So, puntos para sa Adamson, and they will serve now. And they're leading by 3, 17-14. Princess Listana
to serve
will serve.
for Adamson.
Masok din si Libum Fasil, if I'm not mistaken.
And again, more options here for defense now for the Lady Falcons.
De Leon block.
Chelsea De Leon.
Dropped right behind Alguino. Walang depensa behind the blockers. Big no-no.
It is coverage we have to point out here again. And na-mention na rin ni Coach Sherwin yan kanina sa kanila.
Cherry Rondina to serve.
Villanueva. Laki ng butas sa gitna para sa UST.
You can hear Coach Oji at the background. He was really,
He was calling the play.
calling it already, trying to give additional help here for the Lady Tigresses kung anong ginagawa sa kabila.
Kasi umikot si Amanda Villanueva behind the combination play. And sumisigaw na si Coach Oji Mamon of UST. May umikot, may umikot. Galanza. Dusaran picks it up. Now it may have been an overreach on the part of Alguino. Actually, hindi. Sinatapo na pala sa kabila din ni De Leon. But nevertheless, a point for UST. 2 points lang kalabangan ngayon ng Adamson.
Cabanos and Cortez now back in the court for UST. And again, full front lineup here for UST. More options once again for their attacks.
Block is Cortez.
Good block from Galanza. This is probably also what Coach Sherwin was trying to say earlier. No? Hindi ka makakabigay ng punto sa palo. There are other ways for you to contribute with a point. So pwede kang dumipensa, pwede kang mag-block, pwede
To
kang
serve for the
mag-receive.
Lady Falcons.
Back to a 3-point lead, the biggest para sa Adamson. Set number 4. Cortez readjusting. Emnas back set, Paat. Nice pickup by Cabanos. Laure. Cut shot, baba.
Ada goes through the net.
Pablas Limosa getting ready to check in to replace DJ Laure.
UST, number 9 out, number 6, Pamela Lastimosa in. 5 substitutions for UST.
Now Adamson with their biggest lead of the game at 20-16, 4 points.
Net violation
Net
error
violation.
called against Cortez.
Now Adamson within 4 of winning the match. UST needing 5 to catch up. Timeout, Oji Mamon. Pakinggan natin itong UST huddle.
4 and 5. Kailangan natin makakuha ng 5 points para makadikit tayo. That's unnecessary error naman yun. Okay, get over. Pag maganda naman receive, kombinasyonan mo. Okay. Nagiging, sabi si Alex, predictable talaga. Yung mga dumidepensa, hindi na maalis sa pwesto nila. Magkante na lang ka.
Pineda, former Adamson player, obviously, for sure right now, bursting with pride.
Oh yes.
Sa performance ng, despite the struggles, they're on top and only 4 points away from winning the match. Because it hasn't been a pretty performance para sa Adamson or even for
UST,
UST.
yes. Both of these teams, this is not the real game that
Yeah.
we've seen them play better. So both have struggled here.
Pero obviously, credit to Adamson for at least, despite the struggle, lamang pa sila. Galanza.
So that's outside.
Side. Sabi ni Coach Mamon, 5 hahabol natin, 4 na lang. Nearly wide.
Jessica Leon to serve.
Good defense. Oh!
Adamson gets the point.
What happened there? In an occasion like that, Ivy, sino kukuha ng bola kung ang first ball bumagsak sa, or first touch na kay Cabanos, which is the center?
By default, it should be the utility spiker. By default. But again, yun nga, it depends also on the position kung sino yung mas malapit sa bola.
And in that instance, parang Rondina ba?
Could be Rondina because halos nasa kanya na
Andyan
rin
oh,
yeah.
si Cortez
Chloe
pumatakbo.
she had to come out from for a farther end. So siguro yun lang, miscommunication on the part.
Oh, but they're lucky. Binigyan sila ng libre doon ni Alcuino. Napangiwi na lang si Coach Meneses. Yeah, you can't afford a free point in a game like this. A very tough, grind-out game like this. And give away a free point. Pero 4 ang cushion ng Adamson. Masyadong mataas.
Point goes to UST.
2 straight errors, Adamson. 3 hinahabol ng UST.
Timeout, Adamson.
Timeout, Coach Sherwin Meneses.
Official
Pakinggan
score,
natin ang Adamson huddle.
22.
May halos tumuod na nga kayo combination natin eh, di ba? 1-2, 1-2. Di pa ba kayo pagod doon? Oh. Di ba? Tapos ibibigay lang natin, atake tayo, pupunta sila. Austin. 5 ba? 5. Ano ka? B? Ikaw? Back? Hindi, 5 mo na to. Sige mo na si Austin.
Alright, Coach Meneses obviously said it perfectly when, he mentioned na gagalaw kayo, hindi pa ba kayo hirap na hirap sa mga kombinasyon ginagawa nyo, tapos aatake kayo, bibigay nyo lang, libre yung puntos. Oh, but binigay din naman ulit ng UST, so I guess, in a way, the pain should be lesser.
That's right.
But not for Coach Babon, sila yung naghahabol, obviously.
Good timeout called by Coach Sherwin that time.
Good serve, Galanza. Cortez. Oops, that's not coming back.
Good play from UST.
Na late yung depensa dito. Serving 23. Villanueva. Oh, nice combination. Guevara Pahat to set up match point. 24-20.
Good play. I think those are really very effective, especially for the Lady Falcon.
And we mentioned that kanina pa, di ba? More effective than open spikes
Yeah.
are the middle hitters ng Adamson. Good serve, and that's it. The good serve set up the winning point. It wasn't easy. In fact, it wasn't even pretty. But it got the job done.
That's right. Adamson had to struggle for the most part of the game. They're ups, they're downs. But I guess resilience won at the end.
There's the confirmation of the 4-set win ng Adamson over UST. RCBC Smarter Solution Coach of the Game is Sherwin Meneses, brought to you by RCBC Smarter Solutions. And I'm sure he himself, deep down inside, he couldn't tell which is going to be our set.
That's right. And it was really a seesaw battle between the two of these teams. They both gave out their share of errors. They both had their shining moments.
Yeah.
So, yeah, very unpredictable game. That's right.
Team Bonchon of the game, Adamson Lady Falcons. Crispy chicken global phenomenon from here on. It is Bonchon. They can finally breathe a sigh of relief, settle down, and enjoy the what is the Christmas break for a team like a team participating in competition in during the second semester? It's going to be a short one, but
it is definitely going to be a short, and I'm sure that even during the holidays, all of these teams, UST, Adamson, and the rest of the squads will still be there at the volleyball court training.
Yeah.
Of course, burning all those, holiday feasts.
But I'm sure Noche Buena will go down much easier.
Oh, yes.
Coming off a win before the Christmas break. Our Gatorade player of the game, fueling the UAAP to play hard.
It's Amanda Villanueva with 15 points. That's a 10 attacks, 3 blocks, and 2 service aces. And we also have to give credit to the fact that it's not in the statistics as we can see there, but her defense also and her reception was very important with the execution of all those plays for Adamson.
What a great effort put out here by Adamson. They really had to play